Hey guys, in this video I want to show you these lovely watercolor mixing palettes that I made myself in a pottery studio close to where I live, and then I will try one of them and fill one page in my watercolor sketchbook. I made 4 different designs and I used a matte white glaze and a bit of colorful glaze for the details, like here for the fin of the fish. The color is not super vibrant, which I like, and I'm quite surprised that the glaze did not cover these brown dots. This is actually the texture of the clay, but I would call it a happy accident because I quite liked the result. Here for the pear I loosely applied a bit of yellow glaze for the edges and green for the leaf. It was the first time for me to make something like this, so there are some flaws, like here I damaged the raw glaze with my finger and I couldn't fix it, so it's visible. But I think it is still waterproof and it can be used for color mixing. Okay, I love these little palettes and I can't wait to try them. So let me grab my sketchbook and let's doodle something. I am a bit angry at myself for not paying attention when I was putting this palette on the shelf to dry, because as you can see it does not lay flat. All the others do, but this one that I actually like the most doesn't. I tried to stick these little pads to the bottom to make it more stable. It didn't really help, but I realized that I'd have to press against the palette really hard to make it wobble, which is not what you normally do when you are mixing watercolors, so I guess it's going to be okay after all. So my watercolor sketchbook is here. This is a very cheap sketchbook, the paper is not that good, but I use it for doodling and experimenting, so it doesn't really matter. Here I was testing some colors and composition for a landscape my cousin asked me to paint for her boyfriend. It is his favorite place, so I'm going to use the same colors now as I have them already here on my desk. I tried to make some of the wells quite big, so that I can use the palettes also with bigger brushes. Okay, so I really have no plan what to do. I paint whatever comes to my mind, maybe some girl with big hair. And while the first sketch is drying, let's draw, for example, some birds on the right side. When I'm just doodling like this, I'm often drawn to objects from nature, like trees, leaves, birds, flowers or mushrooms. All these are quite simple. They are simple shapes where my mind can rest and I don't really have to think too much about it. I think that it's very important to allow yourself to have fun. Like now I'm just drawing without any preparation. I don't worry about the possible mistakes, composition, the things that could be better. I just want to play with my watercolors and have a bit time for myself. This is why I love keeping a sketchbook. I have to say that the palette feels really nice. This is why I like ceramic palettes, because the paint does spread nicely in the well and it allows you to see the shade and the saturation of the paint, and it does not form these strange dense puddles like when you are using plastic mixing trays. I don't know how to say it, but if you ever used plastic trays, you know what I mean. For a small piece like this, I think that this size of palette is okay, but I will probably go back to that pottery studio and make another one, bigger one, for when I make big paintings and I need to use big brush and a lot of paint. As I painted, I completely forgot that the palette does not lay perfectly flat, and I didn't encounter any strange movement or wobble, so it seems it wouldn't be a problem and this mixing palette can be used like any other. Also, the wells seem to be deep enough. That was one of my doubts, so I'm happy to learn that they are just fine. Well, I must say that I really enjoyed this. I like this palette and I'm definitely making more. I'll try different sizes, maybe smaller shape but bigger wells. I have like 1,000 ideas right now. Guys, let me know what you think, if you ever tried to make your own mixing palette, and I hope you enjoyed this little sketchbook session. See ya!